I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others, or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Machedo is the best.
Guess what? I'm feeling slightly feverish, and I think a little bit of nose, cold, sore throat, flu-like symptoms. So maybe I've contracted coronavirus. Anyway, let's see. Don't like getting sick. So if I do have, what am I going to do? Well, I'll do what I've always done, take precautionary measures. And the best remedy that I've always sought is natural. Garlic, ginger, plenty of it, soup, vegetable soup, plenty of rest, broth. Anyway, I'll keep you posted, because who else will I communicate with? All right, having said that, I'll address an interesting question which was sent to me by a person. The question was, Loy, why do I need a coach? Why should I take your service? So I think this is a question that many people ask at some point in their lives. Why do I need a coach? Or do I need a coach? Or why should I take your service? So I thought maybe it's a good time to answer this. Now, if you're asking why do I need a coach, most probably you don't need one, okay? Because you're just curious. You're just like, why do I need? You don't have a need, okay? So it's like, why should I eat food? If you're hungry, you'll not ask the question, why should I eat food? You'll never ask, why should I drink water? If you're thirsty, you'll drink water. So the first one is, if you're asking this question, why do I need a coach? Or why do I need to take your service? Most probably you don't need. Okay? So now comes the next part of the question is, okay, if you do need a coach, how do you select one, or why should I select you? See, the reason for asking for a coach is asking for somebody who has more experience than you, more knowledge, bit more expertise than you have, to help you achieve a goal or an objective that you have. Let's say, for instance, I don't know boxing, so I can either learn by myself by reading articles and watching videos and trying to copy their style and doing it by myself, or I can approach someone who has more experience, okay? Now, without a doubt, the former is not very effective, that is, looking at videos. But the latter, when you take a coach, is much more effective. So in the same way, it can be painting, it can be for your career, it can be personal branding, it can be business, okay? Case in point, family-run businesses, they teach their children all the skills that they have from a very young age. So they know what is to be done. Here in Thailand, you can see it. The mother or father is selling something in the vegetable market. The child will come and sell with the parent. And when the mother, father is not there, the child takes over. Okay? Now, question about, oh, will it be successful or not? That's totally something else. Okay. Now, I'll give you an example from my end where I didn't employ professional service and what was the price to pay. Bodybuilding. I'm pretty sure everybody, or at least guys, have tried bodybuilding, or say exercise. Females want to lose weight at some point of time, and men want to be in shape. Now, if you have never been to the gym, when you go to the gym for the first time, you'll see all those machines, you'll see all the weights. It's very confusing. You wouldn't know what to do, which weight or which exercise. You wouldn't know what to do. So you'll ask around, and most probably you'll see one big guy, oversized, steroid, buffed up coach. You'll ask him what to do. He'll tell you what is to be done. And you get familiar. Okay, if on the other hand you try to do it by yourself, it's more like, one of these newbies who come and do these funny exercises which everyone's looking and laughing. So people tend to do that. Now, when I started off my foray into bodybuilding, it was actually in Mangalore when I went there to actually join St. Aloysius College in Mangalore. So I was hardly there in college. Almost 70-80% of the time I was outside. So I used to go to this gym. There was this gym at near a hill. Very basic gym, just a bench press machine, a multi-gym, full of dust and sand and no fan, nothing. Okay? So there was nothing, totally empty. So I used to go there. So I didn't know what was what. So I said, just take something and do. Very soon I found out that there was a magazine bookstore where you could borrow or you could take bodybuilding magazines, Flex, Muscle Fitness. You could take these magazines, pay 20 rupees or something. That's hardly a few cents. Maybe less, like a dirham or something, and take it for a week and bring it back. So I used to take these bodybuilding magazines, Flex, Muscle Fitness, Iron Magazine, and I used to read line by line what they used to say. Oh, okay, this is the bicep, this is the brachioradialis, this is the brachii, this is the forearm flexor. So I used to note down each and every muscle name, and I used to literally read what is the function of this muscle, how does it get activated, how many reps do you have to do, how many sets do you have to do. Different people had different pieces of advice. So I used to read, I used to study, and I used to experiment by myself in the gym. For example, Arnold Schwarzenegger used to say, do 25 repetitions, that is reps, 25 times with rest in between. So 25 sets of 25 reps per exercise. So for his bicep alone, he would have something like just 2 hours would go just for one small muscle group. But on the other hand, this is Arnold's style was heavy volume. Then there was another guy, his name was Mike Menzer. Mike Menzer was another big bodybuilder, but his workouts were high intensity, low volume. Okay, so what does that mean? Where Arnold used to take like 3 hours in the gym or 4 hours in the gym, Mike Menzer used to say 20 minutes in the gym, just 20. And where Arnold used to say take, let's say I can lift 100 kilos, he would say take 80 and keep doing. Mike Menzer would say if you can do 100 kilos, take 100 starting and then push for 110, but strict. So where Arnold's workouts were very, very long, Mike Menzer's were very short. And Mike Menzer would say, take more rest. Do 3 times a week and 4 days rest. But Arnold used to say, do 6 days a week or 7 days a week. Do 2-3 times, like 3 hours. So I tried all of them. Okay, I tried all of them. Every exercise. And this went on from the age of, I think, 20 all the way till I think 36, yeah, 35, 36. So a good 15, 16 years. Now, in between, I also did steroids by myself, and then I asked other people. So now, in hindsight, at the age of 42, when I look back with all the experience and everything, I can tell you without a doubt, if I had taken professional advice, proper professional advice from people who had experience, I would have shortened my learning curve by maybe 10 years. Seriously, 10 years. My dog is barking because they have delivered something. Hey, Brownie, Brownie. Okay, so, I just bring bottled water, soda and all that. I ensure that they deliver. They bring, like 10 cartons, so I don't have to go take. Anyway, so what I was saying was, so had I taken a coach, I would have shaved off 10 years of the learning curve. 10 years. Because all those years that I did bodybuilding to grow bigger, to have a bigger size, I would say 10 years I just made nothing but mistakes, man. Complete, utter fucking mistakes. I ended up doing the wrong exercises. I was doing the wrong style. I was just going to the gym thinking I was achieving results, but I was not achieving results. On the other hand, those days you need to understand also there was no YouTube or Google, and information was through magazines, which was also as good as the internet, but there were no communities. We were unable to get in touch with each other. Coaching was not heard of. You just go to a guy who looks that he has big muscles. So had I taken a coach 10 years, and I'll tell you, my results would have been at least 10 times better. Seriously, 10 times better. But, when you're young, you feel you know everything, know it all. You do whatever the fuck you want. So, yeah, I wasted 16 years of my life. Now, I wouldn't say wasted. I have the experience, I have the memories. But it's just sad to know that I wasted it doing the wrong things. Okay, so now that was exercise. The latest one that I can give you is coming to Thailand. Somehow in my thick skull, I guess, I never learn. But this time it was not getting the right coach. It was getting the wrong coach. Now when I came to Samui for the first time, okay, I got in touch with this American chick. And she, we liked each other, and we decided, okay, I'm going to come down here, we're going to start a life. She gave me her advice. I took her advice and started building the plan to move to Samui. Now, she gave me one advice in one particular direction. I started working on that. Then we broke up, and I went to another American guy who I thought I'll set up a business. I went this direction first, spend money, spend time, spend effort. And then I found this guy, and then I realized what she had told me is wrong, so I went in the other direction. And I started going with this guy, taking his advice and building up the blocks, spending money. And then only to find out that no, this is not working out. Then I took a third person, and this was a professional lawyer, Australian chap, registered company, everything proper. Gave him the money outright, down payment cash. Okay? 80,000 cash. And actually made the transition from UAE. Okay? When I landed here, after spending 80,000, after I came here, I was told by him that now I cannot get a visa because I have an Indian passport. Now imagine I've spent 80,000. Now 80,000 wasn't the problem. The problem was I spent 80,000. I left UAE. I sent all the stuff in the ship, PR, transfer of residence, TR, everything I did. What do I go back to? And I was almost in a limbo. Only to my luck, I got the right lawyer, I got the right person, the right team. Yes, I did end up spending 3 times more. Okay, 3 times more than what I'd originally planned. 3 times more is not 8 into 3, 24,000. The total amount came up to, with the transfer residence and everything else, came to 200,000 dirhams. Okay, because settling down and so many other things were there, man. It's like variables were crazy. I had to travel 2-3 times to Dubai and back. But yeah, the lawyer's fees came up to 25,000 dirhams. Okay, for the first year, that was because of the mess I had made. Now, finally, now I'm here. Okay, when I look back on all the money, the time, the effort that I wasted with the wrong coaches, I asked myself, could I have made my life much more easier? And one last example I'll give you so that, this answers your question, why should you get a coach, or whether you should get a coach, or how do you select a good coach? Now, those of you who have followed me in UAE or through Facebook all these years would know that I had my spine damaged, I had my knees damaged, my entire body was damaged because of years of bodybuilding, steroid use and powerlifting. So in order to keep fit, I decided to try jogging, like jogging, this is jogging, or running, slow running. I tried just 100 meters. I wasn't able to even complete 100 meters. So then I said, shish, I need to try get back in shape. So I tried again and failed and tried and failed and tried and failed. Eventually, one day when I was trying, struggling, I bumped into this guy. His name is Rajesh Daryani. He told me, would you like to, he was also running. He said, would you like to join a running club? A running club in Sharjah. So, I never heard of a running club. And I didn't know what was a running club. So he said, yeah, people just run. They give each other company when they are running. So I was like, fine, it's good. So he had created this club, Sharjah Buhaira Striders. It was in the Buhaira area. So I joined the club. And we used to run together as a group. Now, they were actually training for a half marathon. And he told me, Loy, very soon, you'll be able to run a half marathon, 21 kilometers. Now imagine for a guy who could not even run 100 meters or let alone complete 1 kilometer, how the fuck was I going to run 21? But he said, just trust me, you will. So I said, fine, if you think so. And lo and behold, after 1 year, I did run my first half marathon. And I was the last guy, more or less the last guy to complete. The only other guy after me was a guy who was with crutches on one leg. So you can imagine my speed. I was a fat guy, man. But it was a good feeling to know that I could do 21. Now, until now, I didn't take a coach. I was doing it by myself. I was watching videos, I was reading articles, I was buying shoes, compression socks, and seeing how can I improve. But then I bumped into this guy. He's a Toastmaster. I was into Toastmasters, which is public speaking for amateurs. So I bumped into this guy, Santosh. He was a yoga teacher, 50-year-old chap, in his 50s. And, I'm in my 30s, he's in his 50s. But he used to keep fit by yoga. So he joined the same time as I joined. And we used to run friendly, together. So very soon he said he's also going to try to run a half marathon. Now, the first time that we ran, I was able to overtake him. I ran ahead of him in Abu Dhabi. Okay? I beat him. And I used to run barefoot those days. So I felt good about it. Yeah, I'm faster than him. So then next year again we decided, okay, we'll do it. And we both were prodding each other. Okay, I'll be better than you. You'll be better than me. Now, we tried, but to my shock and surprise, he beat me. He raced ahead of me by 15 minutes. So I said, next year I'll show you. So we tried. I trained hard, he trained hard. But to my shock and surprise, I used to take 3 hours 30 minutes. He did it in 3 hours 15 minutes, and now he did it in 3 hours. And the following race, he did it in, 2 hours 45 minutes. Then he did it in 2 hours 30 minutes. Every year or every race, he was getting faster and faster and faster. And very soon, he came to like 2 hours 15 minutes, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And I would try everything possible. I would run, I would read, I would watch videos, I would try running. I even tried steroids to see, okay, maybe this would work. I went to the gym. I did everything on the planet. I was to literally go, slow running from Sharjah till the tip of Ajman, Ajman Kempinski, which is roughly 30 kilometers, going back and forth, 15 going and 15 coming. So I would train that way. But still, my speed was not improving and this guy was improving. And it came down to the part where nothing I did was going to help me. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And, it was still not very serious, although I did want to beat him. But one fine day when we were running, we were just friendly, bantering and badgering each other. Oh, I'll race you, I'll show you. Santosh in front of everyone said, if you can beat me, I'll change my name or something like that, he said. Okay? And everyone burst out laughing. And I can't blame him or anyone else because I was kind of irritating, which I've always been. But that really hit me. It really made me feel bad. It kind of humiliated me and I felt really, really bad. And I decided, now it's personal. Now I have to beat him. I have to overtake him. So I got in touch with Filipinos. I got in touch with professional runners. I asked literally everyone, what can I do? And I found the default answer was get yourself a professional coach. But then when I checked, a professional coach, they were charging like $150 or 500 dirhams an hour. I was like, what the fuck is this? This is so expensive. I was like, who the fuck wants to spend $500 an hour just to learn running? But then because now it had become personal, I didn't give a fuck because, I'm very competitive in nature. I was like, fuck this, even if it costs $500. So I went, I searched for a coach, search, and this took me almost 2 months. Finally, I found one guy, his name was Jacques Sophie, okay? Jacques Sophie was a guy from, I think, Caribbean islands, or I'm not too sure. Okay, so this guy was Olympic-trained track and field coach, okay? The first mistake that I did with him was I tried to approach him and I tried to bargain for a price. When I bargained for a price, he started to ignore my calls. He didn't pick up. So I was like, oh fuck, what the fuck did I do? My typical Indian mentality. Again, bargaining for a price. So then I was like, oh shit, okay. I tried calling him. I tried him for a month. Begging, pleading, asking, begging. Oh. He finally said, okay, fine. I agreed, whatever price you want to take. So I went to meet him. The first day I met him, I remember this was at, where the big flag of the UAE big flag is there. It's near Satwa area. There was this hotel. He asked me to meet him there. Met him there and he said, I need to evaluate you first. I was like, okay, fine, I'm ready. I came with my shoes or whatever. And he asked me, touch your toes. I was like, what? Touch your toes? I said, okay. I couldn't even touch my knees. Hey. Then he said, stretch your leg. I just tried to stretch. I couldn't. He said, lift your leg at the side. I was wondering, what the fuck is he doing? Why is he asking me to lift my leg? And he said, okay, bend over sideways. He made me do all these things. So I was like, okay. And I'll tell you, within 20 minutes of him asking me to do particular exercises, from touching my toes to this and that and everything else, I got tired. So he said, okay, your evaluation is done. So I was like, okay, what is my evaluation? He says, no matter how much you run, you'll not be able to run. And I asked him why. He said, because your joints are stiff, your back is injured, your knee is, having problems. So imagine, I didn't tell him all this and he figured it out. So I asked him, what is the solution? He said, the first thing, we need to repair your back and your knees, because without that, yes, it's no point running. The next one is we need to improve your flexibility and the way you move your legs, because your legs, you're not able to lift it up. Then you need to focus on your core strength, your abdominal walls and your back, because that holds you upright. And then your movement. I'd never heard of all this. And I was like, oh, okay. And then after that, he asked me, what is the gear that you normally wear for running? I showed him what I was wearing. He said, no, you need to wear proper gear. And you will not believe, he actually took me with him for shopping, okay, to select shoes. I never knew that different types of shoes were meant for different people. I thought shoes were shoes. I thought bigger the sole, better. He said, no, there is running shoes, there is practice shoes, there is cross training shoes. I thought these are just names. No. So he first bought me shoes. This took around 2-3 sessions of shopping. Then socks. Socks, there were different kinds of socks. Up to the knees, only to the ankles, halfway. Oh, there were so many types of socks. Then there were tights. Even underwear was, I was like, undergarments. I was like, what? Then there were body fit, there were tights, there were loose. I just always wonder why these running shirts are so thin, or why these running shirts are so expensive. Like 500 dirhams, 800 dirhams. Like, what the fuck is this? Then the cap, then the sunglasses, then the earphones for the music. I never thought all this was necessary. But he made me understand each and everything why it was necessary. And then, to my surprise, what I should eat before the training session, during the training session, after the training session. And if that was not enough, even a plan for when to sleep, how to sleep, how many hours to sleep, what else? Then studying the route where I'm going to run. He used to make me run in the water. He used to make me swim, which I never thought was necessary. He used to make me cycle. He made me do things that I never thought were important in my life. And I'll tell you, where I struggled for where I struggled for 5 years to beat Santosh. 5 years. I was able to do it in 8 months. Now, obviously after that race, he got faster. Oh, the timing. Where I used to run at 3 hours 30 minutes, and I stuck at 3 hours 30 minutes for 5 years of my life. Just by training under a coach, from 3 hours 30 minutes, I ran in 2 hours, which was unheard of. Just by getting the right coach, the right trainer. And then I look back on all the amount of money and the mistakes that I made. 5 years, 6 years. I was like, what the fuck is this, man? Imagine, I spent 5 years of my life doing all the wrong things, putting the wrong effort, taking the wrong coach, following the wrong advice. And the money that I thought I was actually saving, I ended up spending much more. Yes, the coach was expensive. Yes, that 8 months was very intense. I really gave 100%. I'll tell you, it's not that just him. I gave 100%. I put in 9 hours a day, 3 times a week. Because it was right from the time of sleeping. I'd sleep at 9 o'clock sharp, get up at 3 o'clock. By 4 o'clock, my breakfast, everything was done. Then 4, I would leave the house by 5, reach Dubai Marina by 6:30, sleep in the car, get up at 8, train till I think get up at 9, train till reach the beach by 10 to 12. I would train 2 hours, then 1 o'clock I'd reach back home, sleep for 3 hours, then in the evening get up at 4, drive all the way 5 o'clock to this area, that mall, ski mall, no? Dubai Mall, Mall of the Emirates, yes, Al Barsha area. And there I train with runners all the way from 5, I think 4 or 5 till 8. Then 9, till 7. Then I would drive back home for 1 hour. 8 o'clock, have my food, everything. And 9 o'clock, go to sleep. I did this for 1 year. So it's not only the coach, it's giving 100%. Food, diet, everything was monitored. And I achieved the results. So it was like, he used to say, it's not, he can't give me 100%. He can give me his 50, I have to put my 50, then it's 100%. And that's how I achieve results. Now, to give you just a rundown of the whole journey of being coached, okay? It all depends what your objective in life is, what your goal is. If you're just coasting along and if you're happy with your life, you don't need a coach. You seriously don't. That is why when anyone tells me, do you need a coach? Or why do I need a coach? Or why should I book your service? I tell them, then listen, you don't need. Because you're asking me why. When you're hungry, you don't ask anyone, should I eat food? You just eat food. So in the same way, if you really want to improve your life, you really want to change, you really want to make something out of it, if you have the fire, if you're competitive, if you want to be the best, then yes, you will get yourself a coach. You don't want to be the best, you just chumma, you have overconfidence in yourself, fine, go ahead and try. It's not that you can't. See, I have been a personal branding strategist now for, say, a couple of years now. When I started my coaching career, I didn't take any coaching. I started at the age of 30, 31. I used to do just chuma here and there, not give a damn. But after the tragedy struck in 2011 and I was homeless, I said, now I need to be serious. And that is where I sought the services of the world's best coaches. Spent shitloads of money. Took every coach, good, bad, ugly. I found there were some good ones, many were shit. Eventually I found the one that was really good for me. And today, because of that investment, which I spent more than $500,000 over the years, books and DVDs and VCDs and seminars and conferences and coaches and advice and good, bad, ugly, mistakes and everything else, $500,000. But that is why I have been able to succeed today. That is why I'm earning money today. Otherwise, how would I succeed? So, if you don't want to waste time, you want to achieve results as quickly as possible, you want to enjoy the best years of your life, then take a coach. If on the other hand, you're just happy, coasting along and relaxing and you don't have the fire, doesn't matter whether you win or lose, you don't need a fucking coach, man. For people who are serious, people who want to earn money, want success, they don't have time to waste. That's why today, if I do anything, I take professional services. Like, I've taken the services of a guy from from Google. He is, I think, 3 times the price of what I was paying previously. 3 times. but he gives me the results. I mean, what the fuck? Why the fuck should I hassle for the price when I'm making, better results? Fine, 3 times more. I'm able to generate more revenue. So that's what it comes down to, and that's what I suggest. So anyway, I hope this answers your question. Why do you need a coach, or do you need a coach? So I hope this has given you some insight. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you feel you need a coach, or do you feel you not need a coach? How do you decide on a coach? Or would you like to share the name of who is your coach? Let me know in the comment section below. I'd like to hear from you. All right. This is me signing off for now. You guys take care.